live from Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Connections 50 Plus Wednesdays live show.
I am Terri Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Connections 50 Plus Wednesday live show. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, and of course, with me this evening is.
Hi, I am Terri Ann Joseph Brathwaite. How are you? And we are Connections 50 Plus co-creators.
Yes, and we are speaking to the entire Caribbean.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago and all the Caribbean islands. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Caribbean islands and nation states of Guyana and Belize, Jennifer.
Oh, yes, my apologies. So guess what? Guess what is happening this week? Now, for the last few shows, we spoke about dilemmas.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to be chatting about community dilemmas. But the focus is on Carnival because this week in Trinidad is a lot of excitement.
Yes.
Because all now so we picking up costumes and doing all the things to celebrate because next week, Monday and Tuesday, Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So let's discuss what's happening because within the pandemic right now, what we're doing here in Trinidad to celebrate our Carnival. So Terri Ann.
Something just occurred to me. And that we in this pandemic and this lockdown is important and serious, huh? Yeah. Because when we understand what does Trinidad Carnival mean to culture for the Caribbean, for Trinidad and Tobago, for the Caribbean and the diaspora. And when we think of the economy, that is the Carnival economy, which ripples out from Ash Wednesday throughout the Caribbean islands, up into North America, South America, Europe, Australia. I think the only place they don't have Trinidad style Carnival is Russia. And now, because of COVID, that it's like this is not a spark, it's a flambeau that lights up everything, is out. And it seems that in lockdown, there are, and many of our cohorts, they're like, what are we to do? What can we do? Is there anything to do other than stay at home? But, we were worried, we were talking about it, but I am so pleasantly surprised, not surprised, but I'm still so good about what we're seeing as our virtual celebration emerging. So we don't have to be on lockdown and we can enjoy Carnival week.
Yeah, a couple months ago, Terri Ann, the discussion, people were in panic mode.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, Carnival, it's really a boost to the economy. You have so many aspects of the Carnival, where people depend. Sometimes this is the time they make money to last them for the year.
Yeah.
It all depends on what part you play. So a couple of months ago, when we heard there will be no Carnival, there's a lot of panic and anxiety. But I must say and congratulate those, they got very creative. But Jennifer, a lot of creativity happened.
Jennifer, not only is it the economic aspect of it, but as we just said, Christmas and Carnival are the times that Caribbean people reunite and get back together with family. It's who go in or who come in.
Yes.
And that's when the families get back, friends get back together, friends who migrated, they get to see them. And it doesn't matter who's Carnival, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, Point Fortin, Guyana, all of them. And because of how long this lockdown has been going on for, Jesus, the Christmas wasn't the same, the Carnival isn't the same. On a sad note, people have died, people got married, babies got born, and the connections weren't there. So I think what is going on this year with Carnival is so important. And I think it's important that we shake up and show up.
I'm telling you, as you mentioned, families, Terry, and Carnival time for many of our family members is the time when they come down to free up. Somehow they feel, so then they land maybe the Sunday or the Monday, the Marshall Monday. At least they land for Marshall Monday. Must land for Marshall Monday. But during that week, they have such a great time, freeing up, meeting families, just the joy. By the time they reach back, you will get notices, or when I say notices, they will call, text, telling you, oh gosh, we had a great time. Yes, we could go again. Yeah. It's like it rejuvenates you to do more, So yes, what are we doing?
And Jennifer, worse again for this carnival, all the North Americans, Europeans in blizzard conditions.
Yes.
So they can't come out.
So there's a lot to deal with, and how do you deal with it?
It because can destroy us as a community.
Yeah, we need to come together. We need to enjoy ourselves. You need to free up, to cope, because we have the added situation with the pandemic on us. So just to cope, we need to ease that tension, that stress, by doing something for the carnival. And there are many, many activities, Terri Ann, going on this week, filled with activities, sometimes 3 in one night.
Yes. But Jen, we talk, and I really hope that our cohorts, sometimes we are reluctant to embrace technology. Yeah. And we've said that, look, technology is life going forward. We have to get this smartphone. We have to learn to manipulate Facebook. We have to learn how to organize a video conference, whether we use Zoom, whether we use Teams, whether we use Google, whatever. We have to do it because the world has changed. And what's happening now is all the things that we would normally go to for Carnival, it's virtual.
It's virtual.
And if you're resisting the technology, then not only would you miss the show, but you also miss the opportunity to have your friends with you virtually enjoying the show.
It's something, you get used to it. Because you know what I like, actually? I like to go to my parties, but I'm a daytime person. So by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock for the latest, I normally back home. But I find with the virtual shows, it's finishing at 10 online. And if you miss it, then I could go back to it. There's a link back to it at my time. So all my carnival activities is daytime.
Friends, I want everybody to get a little memory from last year. You remember last year we had a ball because we were in blow, and we played mass and all that. But as Jennifer, you just mentioned how you go to bed at 10. Remember when we decided we go into Brassorama, where we had to support our band? And I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning you reach home.
2 o'clock. I could not believe I made it. But again, it's about support, having friends around you. And I enjoyed it, actually. I didn't feel that sleepy.
And our band came second.
But so it's good you still have to find ways to enjoy yourself. And, there are so many, they sent out the carnival calendar, Terri Ann. Terri Ann sent it for me.
Yes.
And it's you said those who may not be into technology, it's so easy. There's a link. You click.
Yeah. It's time for us to shake.
And it pops up. Yeah.
But Jen, you know what I love too? Even if we think of, if we look at some of the things that have been, and this is just a little rundown for all of you all who late to the party, because our Caribbean culture is the soca, the calypso, reggae, pan, it's music, it's dance, it's song, it's voice, it's word. And across the islands, you may have a little change in how we do it.
Yeah.
We may have a little word change, but it's the same thing. And we really can't let ourselves step out. But what I really admired, we were talking about, all right, this virtual carnival, what is going to happen? And, we always had this conversation about, in Trinidad at least, that most of the Calypsonians, the mass men, they're too dependent on the state. They're waiting for the state to give them money to do this and that. And I think it is so refreshing that we see they haven't earned any revenue since March, but so many of I think Phase 2 had a concert, All Stars had a concert, Despas had a wonderful concert for Christmas, and then it came forward. And then you had this week, we had Nadia Batson having her concert. I don't think Voice had one.
Voice had one earlier,
Voice
yeah.
had one earlier, Lyrical, and then Blacks. And Jennifer, as you were saying these shows, I just, you never thought, you watch the Grammys and you watch BT award shows and you see everybody sitting down in the chair and they're dribbling and dancing to music. And we think that we Caribbean people can't go to a soca show and have a great time in 2.5 hours and not be prancing up and down in front of the stage.
Not prancing. I mean, not prancing.
People prancing up and down the stage. I am amazed to see us. We reach when it starts at 8.
Yeah.
And at 10 o'clock, we filing out nicely and we enjoyed ourselves.
I was very happy.
I hope that stays. I want that to stay.
I was very happy that the authorities allowed the live concerts too.
Yeah.
Because and initially we said, but with the pandemic and how they're going to control the crowd, carnival time, just as how you said, what we know carnival is you go to a party, you prance. We're not accustomed sitting, even the Calypso shows.
Yeah.
Calypso shows one, you have to sit at the tent, but you still could go in the back and every now and again jump.
And at the end, everybody go by the stage and congregate.
Yeah. But normally with the soca artists, it's about prancing. And I found, the authorities took a chance and they say, okay, limited numbers with all protocols in place, you attend the concerts. But let me tell you, Terry, and I believe people felt, listen, they're not taking any chance to misbehave, And next thing you know, they shut down the concerts.
Gary was very clear.
Yeah. So they went and everyone, they had a great time. Yeah. This week, this is Carnival week, and Kes and the band having the concerts over a 4-day period. A friend tried to get tickets and said, all sold out.
They sold out. I mean, the 600.
But, it is such a great idea that you still allow people to go out and have fun. And even at home, of course, within you select your friends. Actually, I attended one of the shows. This was about 2 weeks ago.
It was a fat one too. Fatima Fat.
It was Fatima.
You and
no, me, I go to Fatima Fat. And a friend invited me. We bought the online tickets. We did purchase the tickets. And it was 4 of us. We sat in a home. We contributed. We walked with things.
Yeah, the cooler fat.
We had a good time. Just 4 of us.
Cooler fat.
We enjoyed ourselves. It was good. Again, it finished very early. To me, it finished. That one was to me was 2 hours. Just yeah. But you know what? The vibes, Terri Ann. The vibes, and let me tell you, I felt good because I was with friends, so we had a nice time. It's a community building.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward. And as we speak now, Terri, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to do something. I need to have some friends over to enjoy a next concert.
A backyard jam.
A backyard jam. And nothing wrong with that. That's nice. That would be nice.
Jennifer, I would also say, I mean, on the night of Black's concert, I went to visit my parents. And they are 85 and 87. And they like Carnival, but they can't go anywhere. And we were looking at the concert on television and having a ball. They were thrilled to see Baron come out. And I mean, Karen Asher did such a wonderful tribute to singing Sandra, singing Voices in the Ghetto. And at the same time, I am on WhatsApp with my siblings who are in New York and Canada and so on. And all of us in the same show, they're looking at it online.
Yes.
Mommy and daddy watching it, who can remember what. And
Yeah.
it was such fun. And I really hope that a lot of our cohorts, we're not withdrawing and thinking you can't have fun and just embracing this new way. And I really, really hope all the artists continue into the future with these 2 hour concerts that allow people to share in the festivities and so on. But it was really a lot of fun.
It has the pandemic had two sides of it. Of course, they have the downsides, which I guess is the more critical one. But if you look at the other side of it, it allows us to regroup, to connect with people in ways that we didn't before, to do things differently. What it is, and we have to be careful with Terri Ann, especially at our stage and the 50 plus stage, is that we don't withdraw and get so scared. You sit down home, you're not allowing any visitors at all. Now, I'm very careful here. Yes, we have to be aware, follow protocols, and we are in the high risk group. But that does not mean that you have to lock away yourself in a home and not reach out and not do things.
Yes.
Because, we talk a lot about creating a bubble. You create your own bubble, whether it's bubble with your family, bubble with friends, and I'm
One or
not
two
going
friends.
beyond the numbers. It could be two. I said it was four of us in the concert.
Yeah, cooler fat.
Four.
In Fatima, cooler fat, cooler in a
Oh,
living room.
one she prepared, walk with sorry, but he drank it out. But I am not a drinker, so I tend to go non-alcoholic all the time. But we had a great time just coming out,
Yeah.
being safe,
Mhm.
and this is what I would like to encourage. This Carnival week, I feel, take this opportunity to spread joy,
Oh,
to
yeah.
enjoy the positive vibes. I know there would be those listening who may not be in the carnival and was never in the carnival. But what did you do during this time?
Yeah.
You would have gone to the beach. You may have decided you go on a retreat, whatever. But because of the pandemic, you may not be able to do it in the way that you did it before.
Yes.
But you could still have your retreat in some way. The beaches, thank God, the beaches are open.
Open still.
All right. So you could still arrange a beach line.
Yeah.
I have noticed, which is very good, that a lot of the beach houses, advertising special packages
Of
for the
course.
carnival
Of
weekend,
course. Of
you know,
course.
family packages encouraging you, come out with your family and spend the weekend with your family by the beach. So there are so many things we can do to come out, to reach out, to socialize and have some fun,
And
distress.
Jennifer, you know what? Even if you're in a situation where you cannot go out, all right, you have nobody to go to have your 4-person cooler fat
Yeah.
in the living room, or you have nobody to go to the beach with you, or so on. Our radio stations and TV stations are doing a fantastic job, and I have to give props to 96.1. Now, I am not a 96.1 listener because that's a young urban station. Sometimes they go over the hill for me. But they have recreated this week where, well, if you know me, you know I'm a Marshall fan. So I had fun Marshall Monday because they played Marshall's music all Monday. And Marshall showed up in the morning and I had a ball. I didn't do any of our connections work. And I had a ball. This morning, no, another day, they did all the road marches from 75 to 2020. A lot of nostalgia. This morning, there was Brian London and Extempo. And you know what the beauty of all this is? I am not getting up 6 o'clock to listen to that, you know. I tune in at 9 o'clock on YouTube, and I'm sitting down in my office and having a grand time. So even if you are not, and I think they're having a pan shootout tomorrow, and Friday's fantastic.
Have a lot of activities right through.
And that is why I say you have your smartphone, find YouTube, just type in whatever you like. Don't lose yourself to the fear of the pandemic. Our culture is alive, it's going. Be aware. You can still participate and have fun and call somebody to join you. And if you have nobody to call, enjoy yourself.
Terri, and we have to be, you know, I was speaking with a friend and she was saying, you know, around this time, Jennifer, I know you will be playing mass or doing some things like that. And we are talking. And her response to, of course, I'm all excited. You know, for me, this is my week.
Yes.
But she went to the other side of it saying, you know, so many things happening right now, how people could enjoy themselves. Yeah. This is no time to think about carnival and party. This is time for you to you know, to see what you could do about what is happening out there. Terri Ann, if you go down that road,
life continues.
So it's not that we're not concerned about what is happening. It's not that we're not doing what we can in our own way to help or to make I shouldn't say help, to make a difference in society.
Yes, yes.
But we deal with self-care. We talk about self-care. We talk about community. It is so important with your mindset to go around, you know, to be happy, to be positive, to focus on the things that making you happy and not focus on the things that getting you depressed.
Of course.
In this pandemic, definitely, we have enough, the pandemic alone.
No, there is really so
there
much
to have us depressed.
And we could share with our viewers. You and I had a conversation before in terms of how would we deal with the context of life today. And we're not ostracists. We're not unaware of the stress and so on that is going on. And the thing is that we know that each of us as individuals have, as you say, you have to be a brother's keeper. You have to, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. And very often we older ones are guilty. We sit in our comfortable surroundings. We know that we can probably reach out when we're driving down the road. We use fear of an unknown person as an excuse to not pick up the neighbor who, you know, live in 3 houses away and drop them down to the corner. You know, you're going in the same area. And you know, this is our community. So while we could focus on the horror and the fear of the consequence of that fringe, we need to turn it inside, which is what Connection 50 Plus is promoting. Yeah. And how can we have better lives all around? How can we share the joys that we have, the pleasure? How can we help someone to come along and get to this third act stage happily? You know, we need to think about that. We need to think about that and see how
in thinking too, we need to release our biases. We need to release all the judgment, because that's what you start with, you know.
Yeah.
It's one thing to criticize and say, you know, what the neighbor is doing or what your friend is doing. But we keep saying it. You need to go within and check yourself.
Yeah.
Are you also contributing to certain things that is happening? To the anger, to the frustration, to be, you know, because many of us at this stage may feel we have reached a certain stage in life. We are comfortable. We worked hard for what we have. And those of you who are fortunate, maybe your family life is you have a good life. You live in a good life. that doesn't mean that you ignore those around you or put blame on them because you said you work hard to live the life you live. They can do the same. Not everybody can. And there are ways that we can reach out and help. Sometimes it's just in conversation, It's just in conversation.
Jennifer, I want to remind our cohort about a real thing. You see, all of us who are happy and have done well, if we think back to when we were starting, there was a 50+ person who helped us,
Yes.
Who mentored us and guided us along the way. We weren't so great to do this all on our own.
Yeah.
And what we have to think about is that when some of the young people, even the young artists, the soca artists, the panists, the musicians, the crafts people, when we see them out there hustling and trying to make the little dollar or whatever it is, we are the ones who look down on them and cast them askance. And when they talk about the oppressor class, is we they're talking about.
Yes.
It is this 50+.
And we actually get annoyed at that.
Yeah, it is this cohort, the people who are oppressing young people, who are not allowing opportunities, who are making the business decisions that cut them off, who are making the decisions about prices of goods. The people who are making the decisions are the 50+ cohort. So when we talk about how can we contribute to making this world a little better, I think some of us need to, many are doing it, but many more need to recast their minds and think, how can I change rather than being a hoarder and holding on to preserve? How can I help? Because others need help. And this Carnival time, don't borrow the link from somebody, pay the $10 and enjoy the show.
As you said that, Terri Ann, and as I said, we did pay for our link.
I know you did.
But what was funny? It was funny, but I like Carnival time. I tend to go to the parties, the fetes that the schools will have. Yeah. Because I feel that is my contribution to supporting the school. It don't have to be a school I went to. The fact is that the money going to help the education of the children, to give them better facilities. So when we did the link for that party, it wasn't in mind that to go to get, like, before you get anything to drink and eat. No, it was a contribution towards. But as everything else is new, so there are little ways, little problems happen. So many people who paid didn't see it properly or saw the delayed. And then you found out that you could see it free because modern technology and there are ways to do it. So there are some people say, oh, after they paid X, Y, and Z. But it is about contributing towards the welfare of that. And you mentioned the artists. It is contributing to the art form, to the artists. Definitely. Because, oh gosh, with the pandemic, they haven't been earning much. Yes, some of us haven't been either, but we want support also. So we need to support the artists, support others. That's our way of helping them. And, helping their families. They're not going to beg, they're doing work. They're doing work.
So many of them have created work for us to enjoy. Yes. So many have created work. Yeah.
So you ask yourself, as a 50+, how can you mentor? There are so many ways. And Terri Ann, when we use the word mentorship, it sounds very stiff. And like if you have to go and sign up or put a sign saying you're giving lessons or that sort of thing. No, we're not talking about that. Talking about just in helping. I recall
give them an air, listen to their ideas, just listen and give feedback.
And you get the opportunities in so many ways. I recall, my daughters tend to, when their friends have whatever issues. They feel I can fix everything.
Yeah.
And I can help them, whether it's to get a job, to get in this, to know, different ways.
Yeah,
I guess, yes.
Them.
But, I look at it and it's not about the money. It's just to listen. Sometimes it's just to listen, or to guide them and say, you know what, why not do it this way as against the other way? There are so many ways we can use our skills, our experience to make a difference out there.
Yeah.
There are those, you can choose to, many of you all may be in a group, an association, you're giving back in that way. There are those who don't want to be in any group or anything, but you just be willing to give support without criticism. You see that? Without criticism, Terri Ann, and judgment. We feel we have so much experience and we have been through it all that we know that we have the answers. And before we give our advice, we have to criticize.
Let me tell you a good
we have
way.
To be careful.
Let me tell you a good way we can do it without even having to say a word. Zip up your mouth. You don't even have to you see, find some teenagers who are struggling with online classes, accessibility. Let them sit down in your gallery and give them access to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, simple as that.
Let them sit in your gallery and give them access to your Wi-Fi and don't charge them. That's all. Because that is an area where they are, you have people, they may have gotten the device and they don't have accessibility because the flow bill got cut off early in the pandemic when the household income shrunk. The flow, the B Mobile or the Green Dot bill. So accessibility is an issue. So just allowing a young person who is preparing for exams, or especially, you see those 8-year-olds or 9-year-olds, and then the 13 and 14-year-olds, those Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, and Standard 2, Standard 3, Standard 4, those are critical years. Let them have access to your Wi-Fi. You don't even have to comment on anything. Just give them the password. Or allow them to sit and be supervised and focus so that parents can go to work.
The action is about building community. Yeah?
And that's how the community is.
Yeah.
Yep. That
may sound simple, but that reaching out.
Fundamentally.
I recall in the earlies when my eldest daughter just gone to university. So we upgraded her computer and she had the computer home. And my younger daughter had a friend who was going to do exams. And at that time, her mom couldn't afford it. But she's one I used to also give a lift to school, etc. And she took, her mother was so, it was like if I gave, this is to me, it was a very old computer because my daughter had it here. Now, these days, she was so great. She could not believe I'm giving her this free. And I'm saying, and do you know today, that young lady, she did so well. And she did law. She graduated about 3 years ago. And always reminded me of that gift of that computer. And I know she would be doing the same to support others. And that gesture was just because I didn't go looking for her, My daughter just said, my friend don't have a computer, and she could borrow. And I said, borrow, just take it. So these gestures is not to get back anything.
No.
But when you do that, I'm not saying it's the computer have her do any law, but it helped to propel her and to give her that confidence that she had some, she had the machinery to use to get, to fuel her ambition. So that these are the things we listen and we give freely. We give freely. And that is what we talk building community. And Terri Ann, for me, when we are out there wondering what's happening with society, and society has gone wrong, and you know, we could say anything sitting
When
down,
we
as you say.
preaching, when we start to
Yeah,
preach.
yeah. But the simple gestures
Yeah.
and the simple support and the kind words to others could make a difference. You know, the hope you could give to a parent, and you don't know, some many times we don't know what people are going through. And we may watch them and say something negative. But if you reach out or you ask a question and you see where you could support, that will make a difference to a household. And I'm not talking about money. We're not talking about giving money here. We're not talking about going to the home. We are
Mhm.
talking about just being kind, you know, to give someone hope so they can
Jennifer,
do better.
I always say all we have to do is think of our own growing up days. A
Because
few of
some people
us
may not have had, some
may
people may
have,
grow up with very
they
fortunate
may
in
have
their early
come up
days.
privileged, but even in
Yeah.
coming up privileged, then ask your parents if they're still alive. You may remember stories.
Yeah.
No one makes it across without the support of anyone else. And when you see someone in society being totally deviant, yes, there may be a chemical reaction in the brain, there may be some stimulus, but
Yeah.
very often it's because they're being left to deal with it without any support whatsoever.
Mhm.
And that's very often because too many of us use fear and old talk as an excuse to I'm not getting involved in that, or
Oh,
I
yes.
don't want to go there because, and you feed into those excuses and you stop yourself from helping when you know you can. And
Yeah.
that is why you have, I think, part of the reason, it's not the full reason,
Yeah.
but that's part of the reason why we are how we could be, you know. So even
Yeah.
in the middle of the joy of carnival and the somebody is sitting down there frustrated and alone, you know, hook them up on WhatsApp and all you watch a show together and have commentary
And
on
that's what I'm
WhatsApp.
saying. Use the opportunity to do something different. You know, okay, so you want to go by the beach, invite that friend that you feel going through her own challenges, and that's an opportunity to chat,
Or
you know.
if you're going downtown for something, you know, you're jumping in the car to just run for a little errand. You know, there's a mother there with some children. Just carry the children for the drive with you and give the parent a little hour to breathe.
Yeah.
You know, it is not hard to be your brother's keeper and solve this community dilemma. Don't don't retreat to a shell and don't feel that if you are to participate in the community, you must fix the fundamental
Yes.
social problems. No, it's little actions where you let your neighbors know that you are here. Even if you have no neighbors, the principals are in the schools. Just go into the school and ask the principal, how can I help?
Yeah.
How can I help? If you enter the every single police station has it's a police council. I think it's a council they call it,
Yeah.
where they have members of the community. If you're concerned about crime in your area, walk into the police station, ask them about the council, volunteer to be on it, volunteer to do something with your community. It's
And
not
you know what's
hard.
great now, Terry Ann? That you don't even have to, well, you can go in first to chat, but for follow up, you don't have to be there presently, you know.
But
You're
you don't
chatting
have
with
to
them
go in.
online.
You can send a message.
You're there online, everything. I think it's so much. Listen to me. Being online in different ways, like someone said, Jennifer, what Zoom? I say Zoom free. You haven't. I mean, as if you're in business is different. You do the business package.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you have the Facebook, you have so many ways. Just recently, my girlfriend she lives in the States, and she has been there for about the last 10 years.
Mhm.
She just found out, Terry, and she was telling me, you're getting some problem with the WhatsApp calls. And her daughter told her, but you could call on Facebook using, and she said, how you could do that? And she called and she was just couldn't believe. She said, but I gotta call you all the time. And it's free. You understand? So they are so with this technology, I mean, you can have, there's so many ways to communicate, you know,
Jennifer,
and to reach out. Yeah.
I think society has just, as we've become, some people have become more prosperous, they've withdrawn
Yes.
and consider themselves a unique set, and anyone who is not like me is dangerous and needs to be
Yeah.
avoided. So we either build walls, build gates, build communities, or we have invisible lines that we don't cross. And we use that fear as a reason to not get involved, to not be with this, because we make assumptions that you know how those people are and you don't have a clue how those people are. You're making excuses. Now,
Yeah.
if you had an experience that has traumatized you, then of course you have to be cautious. I'm not
Yeah.
saying run into everything, but we really need to think carefully when we start saying they and giving ourselves reasons to not participate in our communities and help our communities, that we're not really trying to justify our selfishness and therefore contribute to the mess that is the community dilemma that we have now. You
Yeah.
know, it's Carnival. We can reach out. We two neighbors, you talk to the neighbor, you talk to the neighbor for Christmas. You didn't invite them home because it had COVID.
Yes.
Reach over and say in the backyard, pang a pot, do something.
A backyard jam. And you know, a lot of things in that backyard jam or that lime or that getting together, whether, you know, for Christmas, I had two friends over
Yeah.
for dinner, just three of us, again, looking to the protocols. But during
And we
that,
had your wonderful birthday
oh
party you had for me
yeah, right.
with
But
the four
during
of
that
us.
time,
It
with
was
the
beautiful.
conversation, Terri Ann, it's so positive. It's so positive. You know,
Yeah.
we discuss different topics. You come up with ideas. Sometimes I may have, or you may have a situation that in discussing it, you
Yeah.
leave that little gathering, that lime in a positive way, you know, on a high,
Absolutely.
and you don't have to drink.
But
And that.
if you don't want to drink, you don't have to drink. But
Yeah.
Jen, we have 4 more minutes. We have
And it's
four
Carnival week.
more minutes. And it's Carnival weekend. Jam, we have to organize our backyard jam for Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
It
You
is
know, we should do it live.
Yes, and I think we need to dress up.
I'll
I
do
think
that.
we need to dress up. I think we need to do some kind of I must have something that we could let us have a backyard, 10 people.
Okay,
10
no more
people.
than 10, huh? And we have
So,
enough distance.
so
Listen to me.
we'll get some tradies to join. So the first
We
10
are
people
not
who say they want to
encouraging
come.
anybody to have any fete. Listen to me. This would be a very small gathering, social distancing. But guess how you can join us? We're going to do it live.
Facebook.
So you could come online. We're going to let you know the time, and you come online and have that backyard jam with us.
Yes.
Carnival Sunday. So we will organize it for
Look out
Carnival
for the
Sunday.
posts. So we have in our backyard jam and we connection.
So that's Connections 50 Plus Backyard Jam. I like that.
Sunday. Yes.
Yes. So
everybody get your cooler together, even if it's you one. Even if it's you alone. Get your cooler.
Join us. We will send and we'll let you know the time. And the entire Caribbean, listen, is Sunday.
It's Carnival Sunday.
So you're gonna be, you see, enjoying Trinidad Carnival Jam.
Wait, Sunday will also be Valentine's Day, Jennifer. Yes.
Well, what a way. You see, I didn't even, the Sunday is the 14th.
Yes. Yes. Carnival Monday is the 15th. Yes.
Wow. So look at that.
So,
all right.
Backyard jam.
If you have nobody to celebrate Valentine with, you can celebrate with us.
You're celebrating with us.
Then it's
we
a Carnival.
are your Valentine and you are our Valentine.
A Carnival Valentine backyard jam.
Absolutely. So until Sunday, Caribbean, it is Carnival week. Have a blast. Everything is online. It's on YouTube, it's on the radio, it's on TV.
Yeah.
You don't need to be alone.
Great. It's so nice, Terri Ann, to sit down and chat, about the Carnival week, relax, nothing heavy.
Yeah.
And so we look forward for you joining us on Sunday. We have to give a time. Will be in the evening.
We will post it. We will post it when we get the
Yes.
details. When we get all the details. When the sun cool. When it's about 3 o'clock.
It sounds good.
It will be like one of the concerts, 2 hours. Finished.
And we have to pray for no rain because we're going to have it outdoor.
It's coming Sunday, no rain coming. Okay, then. It's been great. So, see you guys.
So, we say bye for now.
Carnival. Bye-bye.
Yes.
50 Plus Tribe and followers from TNT and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus Wednesday Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like and share our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback.
Bye for now.